Hi, I'm John Papa.
I'm Brandy Morgan.
And we're going to learn 5 things about React components. Thing 1, component types.
So in React, there are 2 types of components. There are your class components and your functional components. Class components are going to be the ones that hold your state and use those lifecycle methods. Functional components are going to have nothing to do with state, and they are never going to use those lifecycle methods.
Oh, very cool. Thing 2, container presenter pattern. I hear about this a lot in React. Tell us more.
Yeah, so in React, you have your container components, and those contain your state, and then you have your presentation components that present your state. So in React, state flows from your parent to your child. So you have your container right here that has your state that then passes the state to your presentation components.
And could you have multiple of those presenter components inside a container?
Yep, and those can also be functional or they can be class components.
Awesome, so it's really more about how the data flows through your application.
And how it's presented, so how you would see it, yeah.
So with an example of that, a container really doesn't show anything then, right, if I'm understanding you right?
Yep.
You might collect the data, get it ready, and then pass it down to the presenter who might show like a login and...
Yeah, you would think of a container as just like your state manager. It manages the state for all the presentation components inside of it.
Very cool. Everything seems to be a component.
Yeah, everything is a component in React.
Are we components?
No.
No?
No.
Okay.
I hope not.
I'm disappointed. Thing 3, JSX. This is unique to React, right?
Yes. So think of it like HTML. If you know HTML, you'll be very comfortable with JSX. It's an XML-like syntax that you use for building your components.
Inside of your JavaScript files, right?
Correct. Yep.
So wait, worlds are colliding here.
I know.
HTML, JavaScript. Exactly. Awesome. Thing 4, stateful components and lifecycle methods or events. How do they work?
So stateful components are components that have internal state and they use the lifecycle methods. So every component has a lifecycle. So when it's being rendered, you would use component will mount, which is when the component is being rendered to the DOM, and then component did mount is when it has rendered, and then component on mount is when it's being destroyed.
Thrown in the trash.
Thrown in the trash.
Yeah. You like to throw them in the trash, don't you?
Yes, I do, when I can. Get rid of unused code.
So anytime we have stateful components with lifecycle events, we're getting data from somewhere, right?
Correct.
Where do you get your data from?
So I use Node.js as a backend, usually.
Like an Express API or Happy or Cola?
Happy.
Happy?
Yep.
I'm happy too. So we can use that on the server, but we can also work it with things like serverless technology, right, in the cloud. So I can get my data from any serverless function?
Yeah.
Awesome. Thing 5, handling events. We got the stuff on the screen, we've got the components. How do we go back from the screen into the component?
Yeah, so event handling is a big thing in React, and there are these things called event handlers. And think of a button. So we created these components, we have a button on the screen, somebody's gonna click on it. Well, we somehow need to interpret that click, right? So you create a method that handles that click, and then you have these event handlers for your button, like onClick, and that would actually take that logic from that method and handle the click.
Okay, but what if nobody clicks on the button?
Well, then nothing happens.
Does it get lonely?
Probably. Probably just want to tap it.
If nobody clicks on the button, does the event handler actually exist?
Well, in the code, yes. But it doesn't get used.
Okay. Where would you recommend people go to learn more about components in React?
The documentation is always good, so reactjs.org.
Awesome. I'm John Papa.
I'm Brandy Morgan.
And we just learned 5 things about components in React.